Hi, you guys. I'm just giving it a few minutes. It smells so good. Hey, Jen. I'm on live. I'm on live. Come back. Come back later. Okay. Sorry, y'all. It's my daughter. Hey, you guys. Let me turn this on. I'm smudging my cards because I've been using them a lot. I'm just smudging them before. Good afternoon. Hope everyone's having a good day so far. I know it's raining where I'm at now, so it's super somber outside. Thank you so much. As you come into the live, please like the video. Just hit the like button. I found some non-copyright music, so I'm taking advantage of it. I'll play that in the background in the meantime. So I'm going to be talking about some heavy topics, hence the reason why I'm smudging my cards, smudging myself, just because we're in some dark times right now. We're definitely in some dark times. Let me put this down a little bit. So I wanted to come in and talk to you guys about some information that I recently found out. You guys, some of you may already know this, but I didn't. Some information I found out from Joe Rogan. I was watching a clip from the Joe Rogan interview where he interviewed this guy. I can't remember the guy's name, but it's on his channel. And he tells us, Joe Rogan told me some info, well, not me specifically, but I was watching it. And he talks about Jeffrey Epstein. And he gave his audience some information that I didn't know. So I wanted to come in and kind of talk about that and just kind of give you guys, including myself, like an encouraging message, because I know a lot of the things that is happening right now, specifically with Epstein, even what happened with Rihanna, like, her being in her home and, like pow pow happening outside her home. And like, apparently there was like bullet fragments found inside of like, the walls and stuff. So it's just some scary times, we're currently at WAR right now. So we're in some pretty dark times, but one thing I know is that dark times don't last. It is, unfortunately, that is part of the balance, right? Um, these things have to happen in order to kind of balance things out, unfortunately. So yeah, I just wanted to talk about that. Good afternoon. Hi. The Millennium Gemini Diddy 111. I love these names. Hey y'all. Make sure you guys like the live as you come in. So yeah, I just kind of wanted to share some information. I am going to be pulling some cards as well, but I wanted to share some information that I found out about Jeffrey Epstein. So did you guys know, and you can let me know if you knew this, but did you guys know that 18 days before Jeffrey Epstein apparently committed, so before that happened, right, which I go into a whole thing about what I intuitively think happened, and I talk about that in a video, but I did have to make that video members only just because I was too on point. And I feel like sometimes people that don't want to hear what I have to say, or they don't like the truth that I'm giving, they'll like report my live and stuff like that. So I just put it in my members only, but it's probably like $2 to watch it. where I talk about what I think really happened to Jeffrey Epstein. Because there was a lot of people, like conspiracy theorists and just people online just talking and saying that, Jeffrey Epstein is not really dead, but he is. He is deceased. He's not alive somewhere on some island or put off somewhere. Like, he's not. And one of the reasons why they unalived him is because of all of the information that he knew. I mean, did you think that he was going to go down and not take people with him? Like, there's no way that one man could have ran a whole trafficking ring empire for that many decades. We're talking about decades of him doing this. There's no way that he could have ran that on his own, right? So he had help from other people that were into that, millionaires, billionaires, from all parts of the industry, like political, um, Wall Street guys, industry guys, like politicians, unfortunately. So he didn't do this on his own. And I do feel like, and again, everything that I'm saying is allegedly. Let me say that. Everything that I am saying is allegedly. I do not know any of these people personally, nor do they know me. Okay. And when I do my tarot readings, I am strictly going off my intuition, messages that I am getting intuitively. Okay. So if you want to label me cray cray, that's fine. But just know that I don't know any of these people. So don't take anything I say as the end all be all. Please vet out everything that I say, research everything that I say. Okay. Because the last thing I want to do is make someone think that I'm telling 100% facts. These are not facts, but I do take my intuition seriously. When I get certain nudges and like little gut feelings, your gut instinct, and it tells you to do something, I act upon it, especially when it comes to children being harmed. And even before I became a mother, I'm a human being first and foremost. And I'm never okay with anyone being harmed or anyone being unalived, but especially children. They're innocent and they cannot defend themselves. They're not adults yet to be able to defend themselves. So I'm never going to be okay with that. Hence why I do celebrity readings. I expose, and I expose, satanic rituals and things like that. I talk about these things because not to really put you in fear, but to keep people aware. A lot of people don't think this stuff is real. A lot of people don't think witchcraft is real, or that, celebrities, oh, they're too rich, they're a billionaire, they don't have time to practice witchcraft and sorcery. Like, please, we can't continue to lie to ourselves when they have been showing us evidence of what they're doing for many, many years. Okay. And it's almost to ridicule us. Like, it's kind of like we're putting it in your face, but you're so stupid that you don't even think it's real. You think we're not doing this, but they are. Unfortunately, there are children that are being harmed, that are being harmed in ways that I don't even want to talk about on YouTube. That is just, I'm never going to be okay with that. Okay. But, so yeah, so this is what I want to talk about, just to kind of circle back to Joe Rogan. So Joe Rogan talks about how when Jeffrey Epstein was in prison, there was a guy that was in there with him, his cellmate, roommate, whatever, his cellmate. That cellmate, 18 days prior to his attempted unaliving, 18 days prior, Jeffrey Epstein says, and he says this himself, you can research this, I'm pretty sure it's there. Hi, Jacob. You can research this yourself, what I'm saying. So Jeffrey Epstein's cellmate was an ex-cop, right? Like a dirty cop, because he was, he was in prison too. He was a dirty cop that was in there for red rumming. Okay, he was a red rum for hire, ex-cop, big buff Italian guy. And this was Jeffrey Epstein's cellmate. That cellmate attempted to unalive him. And when they went into, and this is 18 days prior to the day that Jeffrey Epstein allegedly unalived himself, right? Which we know he didn't, but that's what they're saying. So we'll take that. But 18 days prior, his cellmate tried to unalive him. Okay, I think he like choked him out or whatever, and the guards or whatever came into the cell before he could unalive him, and Jeffrey Epstein told and said, "Hey, this guy just tried to kill me," and things like that. So come to find out, And I'm getting this information from Joe Rogan. That's where I got it from. And I vetted it out myself. And it is in fact true. It's this Italian guy who was an ex-cop that was in there with him. Um, so yeah, so this Italian guy tried to unalive him, you guys. Yeah, try to unalive him. So when people say, oh, and remember, Jeffrey Epstein even said himself that he was not suicidal. He was not suicidal. And I do believe that he was willing to tell on everyone because he was not this big trafficker on his own. Okay. I mean, if you guys, do you guys think that anyone was doing, you think R. Kelly was just doing it on his own? You think Diddy was doing it on his own, or Jeffrey Epstein and Harvey Weinstein? Like, they weren't doing this on their own. They had people helping them, people hiding for them and things like that, people recruiting the girls, underage girls and things like that, So he wasn't doing this on his own. And Jeffrey Epstein was going to snitch 100%. 100% was going to tell. Okay. Just based off of his interviews, I was watching his interviews lately, and I'm just like, yo, this guy was 100% getting ready to snitch on politicians, snitch on all kinds of people in the industry, people on Wall Street, okay, that he knew were into what he was into, okay, or at least participated in some type of way. He was going to tell on a lot of people, and they were not going to let that happen. So, again, this is my personal belief that he was unalived. He wasn't unalived in the way that they say, meaning he didn't harm himself in his cell. He was extracted, taken somewhere else, questioned, tortured, and then. So I'm back, you guys. Like, it's so the usual. They always cut my live. It's so annoying. It's so annoying, and I feel like people are reporting my live. But it is what it is. I'm back. Thank you, Bubble126. I appreciate it. Thank you, Dorian Thompson. Thank you, thank you. I appreciate it. Thank you. Oh my gosh, y'all. Thank you so much. I appreciate that. Thank you. So yeah, apparently some people don't want me to talk about what I'm talking about. But yeah. I mean, I'm just a small channel, so it always baffles me. Like, I'm a smaller channel. I have, 2,000 subscribers. And I don't understand why my live is being messed with when Joe Rogan interviewed the guy that's talking about what I'm talking about. And he has millions. It's just, I just don't understand. Like, I just don't. I don't get it. But anyway, so yeah. So I think that they were trying to unalive him for a while in there, okay? Remember, 18 days prior, his cellmate tries to unalive him. Unsuccessful. And then 18 days later, attempted suicide. Like, come on. It's either someone in the government, someone. And at this point, Jeffrey Epstein had so much dirt on so many different people that it could have been a politician. It could have been someone allegedly a politician. It could have been someone he did bad business with. It could have been anyone that put that hit out on him. You know what I mean? Because he had a lot of enemies. And I know he was willing to talk. And a lot of people didn't want this information out there. You know what I'm saying? So it's just really unfortunate. It's really, really unfortunate, you guys. Really unfortunate, y'all. I'm just looking down at my notes just because. Yeah, so did y'all know that, y'all? Because I'm just finding this out today. I had no idea that Jeffrey Epstein was I didn't know that his cellmate tried to unalive him like 2 weeks prior. I had no idea of that. But apparently other people did. It's so crazy. What? Hey, you look kind of cute. Did you receive your taxes? Now, what's happening? What does that have to do with anything? Did I receive my taxes? Did you receive yours? But yeah, I hope everyone's having a great day. Make sure you guys like this video as you come in. Like, comment, and subscribe. Thank you. Thank you, what's happening. I appreciate it. Oh, man. I'm trying to keep the energy light because it's like, these talks about like witchcraft, children be like, it's dark, it's heavy, it's very heavy, it's heavy energy. But silence is one of the ways that bad people get away with bad things, is silence. You know, when it comes to like, these occults and the quote unquote Illuminati, which I think it's such an insult to call themselves these groups of people that participate in these rituals that aren't even originally theirs. So they've inverted it and perverted the ritual. I don't even want to go down that rabbit hole. But I just think it's so unfortunate that these people that, these groups of men and women that do these things, they call themselves Illuminati, illuminated. Like, there's nothing illuminating about what you do. And it's an insult to call themselves that. Like, illuminated people are people that are light, high vibrating, that operate in the energy of love, that wouldn't think about harming a child or harming another individual. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, let karma do its thing. We are here to protect and to serve the planet, not play God. So the fact that they call themselves the Illuminati is so disrespectful, because there's nothing illuminating about them. They need to call themselves what they really are, which are Satanists. A lot of them are Satanists. Some of them are Luciferians. Some of them are just very greedy, and, they don't know what they're doing. Like a lot of these entertainers and rappers, the Rihannas, the ASAP Rockies, the Cardi B's, all of them, unfortunately, all of them. Even the ones that we love their music. When you sign these contracts, remember, these people, a lot of them, and I'm not saying all of them in the industry are occultists and Satanists, but if 90% of the industry that you are in do not serve the creator of all, they serve a god of destruction, a god of manipulation, and they serve demons, why would you want to go into business with that being? Money can't be worth it. Like, being a multimillionaire, being a billionaire can't be worth it. And it puts this idea forward that in order for you to be a millionaire and in order for you to be a billionaire and to be wealthy, that you have to do deep, dark things. And that's not true. There are plenty of billionaires and millionaires that are philanthropists that got their money from the mud, that got it but through integrity, through hard work. You know what I'm saying? So I think it's unfortunate that, people have this really negative connotation about money and what it means to be wealthy and be rich. And they kind of associate that with being dark. Like, if you're rich, and that means you had to be evil. But there are plenty of people out there that are great people that just so happen to be millionaires, and they give back and they take care of their families. They put, generations through college and things like that. I have millionaires in my family that would never deal with what these people are dealing with when it comes to Satanism and things like that. And, my aunt, for example, she's a multimillionaire living in Canada right now and has a thriving restaurant. So there are people out there that make money the right way and are billionaires and, on their way to becoming, well, millionaires, but on their way to becoming billionaires in a way of integrity. So I want to say that as well. The name of my channel, I call myself Lady Millionaire. Is it because I'm a millionaire yet? I mean, technically on paper, yes, but I call myself a millionaire to take out that negative connotation of, when you have a lot of money, you're automatically put into this box of, oh, they must have signed their soul. They must have, made the deal with the devil to get this money. No, there are people out there that really work hard for what they do and everything that they have. Okay? So I definitely wanted to put that message out there as well. Money isn't evil. The people are evil already. The money just exposes who they really are. So if you're already a PDF file, you're already a red rummer, you're already, a narcissist, if you are already manipulative, and money is just going to make you more of what you already are. And it's the same thing for the opposite. If you're naturally a good person, if you're naturally giving, you're a nurturer, you're a protector or a provider, what are you going to do when you have a lot of money, when you're a millionaire? You're going to be more of that. It's very hard for someone that is innately a good person to, come into a lot of money and then, oh my God, the money made them evil. No, it doesn't work that way. the money, the resources that you get just expose more of who you are. So you're either, you're good or bad. You know what I'm saying? So yeah, so I did want to, put that out there as well. Money isn't evil, you guys. Money is a great thing. The creator of all there is did not put human beings on this planet to suffer. Unfortunately, there's opposite polarities that want us to suffer, but our job as humans is to rise above that and thrive and just be a great person. You know what I'm saying? You don't gotta be out here kissing babies and all that, but just be a great person, be a great individual, and the things that are supposed to come to you are gonna come to you naturally. You know what I'm saying? So, yeah, y'all. So, yeah. Hi, love your peace. Matthew Parsons, hi. So, yeah. It's so crazy. Hi, Jeffrey. Have a great day, too. Oh, you're in Virginia. Okay, we're not too far from each other. But yeah, make sure you guys check out that Joe Rogan interview if you want to see the whole thing, where he talks about, how Jeffrey Epstein's cellmate tried to unalive him. So yeah, that man was going to snitch. And let me tell you, I'll tell you this. When it comes to Sean Combs, Diddy got a slap on the wrist. And I think that part of the reason why Diddy got a slap on the wrist is because he's telling. Mm-hmm. Diddy is telling, but Diddy is telling on, he told on the right people. He didn't tell everything, because if he told everything, he would be where Epstein is right now. So would R. Kelly. They wouldn't leave R. Kelly and Diddy alive serving time in prison. They told on the right people, according to the people that questioned them, because if Diddy and R. Kelly was telling on the people that they should be telling on, they too would have been unalive. We would have heard, he, unalived himself in his cell, or, the inmate attacked such and such. The reason why those men are still alive is because they told on the right people. But they didn't tell on everybody. They're still keeping secrets, which is so unfortunate. Still keeping secrets so they could keep their lives. And this is my opinion. This is 100% Lady Millionaire's opinion. You don't have to agree with me, but that's what I think. I think that Diddy is in there telling on other people in the industry, other people in the music industry, in the entertainment industry that are into what he's into, that participated in what he participated in, and the stuff that he knows about other people, maybe politicians and things like that, he's keeping that to himself. So they're like, all right, well, we'll keep you alive. He got a slap on the wrist. And a lot of people say, well, the reason why Diddy got a slap on the wrist is because he wasn't, found guilty of, trafficking per se. And it's like, yeah, Diddy got a slap on the wrist because he knows how to play the game. He's much smarter than Robert Kelly. Much smarter. So, yeah, y'all. Holy Ghost. God is loving. God is living. Be successful in people's lives. Absolutely. People that are successful, you can tell. I mean, I've been around people that are wealthy and that are they just have a nasty disposition. Like their energy is very just trash, right? And then I've been around people in my own family and just others in general that, have a lot of money, that are very wealthy, and they're great people. They're great people. You know what I'm saying? They are philanthropists. Most of the time, they're always giving back. They take care of themselves and their family. They put generations through school because they have the means to do so. So yeah. But I wanted to do a reading, just a general message. Whoever sees this, if you're meant to see this, if you're meant to hear it. Actually, well, yeah, we'll use this. I'm using the Music Tarot. So I'm going to be using this deck here. I always show you guys, but for the new people that, don't know, this is a deck that I use. It's a music tarot deck. You can get it at Barnes and Nobles. You can also get this on Amazon, but I got mine at Barnes and Nobles. Thank you so much. I love this. I appreciate it. Thank you, Bubble. I hope you have a great day as well. All right, let's get a message. And then I'm going to talk about Rihanna, y'all. And it's so conflicting to me because Rihanna's a mom and she has children, you know? So I wish that this didn't happen to her. Like, I feel like the children were in danger. She was in danger. And it's like a part of me feels like this is karma, you know? So we'll talk about that a little bit later. Let's pull some cards. Okay. We have the Emperor. Look at Prince, y'all. Prince is saying hi from the other side. Shout out to Prince. Okay. And you know what I noticed too? Notice on this card, there's a black and white bird, right? So this is, even in death, there's duality in that. For every person that dies, someone is born, right? So this world, this earth that we live in, which is absolutely beautiful, by the way. You know, I know there's a lot of dark things happening and there's chaos happening, and, you know, the media is just pumping out information, just tons of information, just nasty, deplorable things that people are into. But we also live in a world that is duality. Where there is light, there is darkness. Where there is darkness, there's light. Okay? So I feel like these two birds here represent that, the black and the white birds, right? It represents that energy of duality. And him understanding that as an ancestor. Shout out to Prince. Okay? Prince is on the Emperor card. So, yeah, I feel like it's really important to know duality, not to be afraid. That spirit of fear and, oh, I'm going to stay silent and I'm not going to talk about this because it doesn't affect me personally. Trust me, if it is happening in the world around you, it's inevitably going to happen in your world. So what happens in the world around you 100% affects everybody on this planet. So we can't have this individualist type of ideal. Yes, you got to take care of home first, but do understand that what happens in the world around you is going to affect your home life at some point. Okay. But yeah, with the Emperor, I feel like Prince is like, you know, he understands the duality of things. There's a yin and a yang. Okay. I just heard everything that is up must come down. Oh man. Everything that is up must come down. This is the fall of celebrityism, the fall of even the way politics in America is being displayed now. This is the fall of that, is what I'm getting with that. Yeah, I'm hearing that clear. Everything that is up must come down. And I didn't even realize, look at that. So we have the white and the blackbird here, and then the opposite there. We have the blackbird on this side, the white bird on that side. So it almost makes like an X. Like if you look from this bird to here, to this blackbird, it's an X, X. Everything is connected. Everything that is up must come down. And you know what happens after that? Once we start to see like the destruction of celebrityism and holding people that don't deserve to be celebrated in this, you know, putting them on this pedestal, that we're going to see crumble. And unfortunately, people that are like super fans, that are so fanned out that they, you know, I know people till this day that will still listen to R. Kelly. And it just baffles me, especially people that are parents. Like, I could understand someone that is not a parent, like, you know, a younger person that doesn't have any kids yet. Like, they don't understand the crime and the gravity of the crime that R. Kelly committed against young girls, even boys as well. It wasn't just girls, it was boys too. I could kind of understand it, but even then it's like you need guidance and be educated. The world of, oh, we're, you know, we got to separate the artist from, you know, the art, that is over. That's over. And unfortunately, there are people that are still going to, you know, support Diddy. There are still people that are going to support R. Kelly. There are still people that are going to, you know, that that unfortunately will still keep Jeffrey Epstein's secrets, right? Because now that he's unalived, a lot of the things that he knew, he took it to the grave with him. You know what I mean? And there are people that are so afraid that they're not going to speak out, and these are parents. Like Diddy was a father, he's a dad, and he was doing these things. R. Kelly, a dad, doing these things. So yeah, Prince is saying everything that is up must come down. So we're gonna watch it crawl. We're gonna watch it fall. We're gonna watch it fall. Mm-hmm. Yep. Let me tell you, the ancestors on the other side are working very hard with this Eight of Pentacles. They are working diligently to bring down evil, dark deeds. And we're talking about people that are at a higher position, people that are placed on a pedestal, okay? Because remember, do you guys remember a few years ago where the church, like the Catholic Church and all that, was like under heavy scrutiny about their PDF files, and like priests and people that were in high positions and stuff like that, were under scrutiny for PDF? Do y'all remember that? This was like, I was really young. I was probably like junior high school, high school. So this had to be like the early 2000s. I'm getting with this here that is what's happening. So every few years, like every decade or so, there's a how do I explain this so that it's tangible so y'all understand what I'm seeing? There's a portal that opens up. There's a specific time, there's a season for expose of sorts. There's a season of expose. So back then in the early 2000s, like late 1999 up until like 2004, 2005, that season was to expose the people that were working under the Pope, the Vatican, the Catholic Church, the priests that were in the church harming children, harming the ushers and things like that, right? So the Catholic Church was under heavy scrutiny, if y'all remember. I don't know if I have any 80s babies in here, but the church was under heavy scrutiny during that time. And then it's almost as if the time shifted, that season was over. There were a lot of people that were brought to justice, right? Okay. And then we kind of really didn't hear about that anymore. So there was a portal that was opened up for justice to be served. And remember, justice and mercy are not the same. The creator of all can show mercy, but justice is what you really need to fear, because justice doesn't care about how you feel. Justice is coming for justice, point blank, period. So that portal that was opened up was justice for the children that were harmed by anyone in the Catholic Church. There was a period for that. Then we didn't hear anything. Now we're in another season where there's another portal of sorts. That's what I'm seeing. A portal that is opened up, and there are archangels coming through. There are archangels, Archangel Michael, Archangel Gabriel, Archangel Hamia. I mean, we're talking about, they're just flooding in to bring justice, divine justice, to what is happening. Now we're in the area of people are talking about children being harmed, satanic ritualistic abuse, okay, Epstein being exposed, Diddy being exposed, R. Kelly being exposed. Like, those things are happening around this time. Even, some people don't want to hear this, but unfortunately, there are a lot of politicians that are running this world now, okay, now and in the past, okay, that are being exposed as well. Like I said in my last live, who would have thought that you would have ever seen Bill Clinton and Hillary Clinton being questioned by the Department of Justice, by the DOJ? And Hillary was hot, you guys. I don't know if you guys saw that interview. I would pull it up, but it's going to take me too long to search it on Twitter. But there's you can look this up, where Hillary Clinton was being interviewed by the DOJ, and she was livid. I'm talking shaking. She was just like, the nerve of y'all asking me these questions. This is ridiculous. And I'm looking and I'm watching this interview, and I'm like, yo, Hillary's lying. Hillary is lying through her teeth, allegedly. This is my opinion, what I'm observing. This woman is lying. This woman is so used to being in a high position, so used to, you know what I'm saying, that she's like, how dare you question me? And she's just lying, and she's getting hot. She's sweating. Her face is turning red, like she's just livid because the Department of Justice is asking her questions about her involvement with Epstein. Why are you and Bill Clinton named with Epstein? Why is Bill Clinton, your husband, pictured with Epstein? What were they doing? They weren't talking about stocks and bonds. You know what I'm saying? So a lot of people that just know that the ancestors, those that are deceased, that are no longer here, that are in the ancestral realm, right? Like the Princes, like the Michael Jacksons, like the Tupacs, like the Biggies, like the Amy Winehouse. What's the other guy that played the Joker? Oh my God, what's his name? What's that young man's name that played the Joker? Oh my gosh, can y'all help me remember his name? Heath Ledger. Thank you. Thank you. Heath Ledger. They are working. Know that the ancestral realm is very active, and they are working very diligently on the other side to get things to happen on this side. Okay, but humans are a bit stubborn, so it's kind of hard to bypass the brain and get people to tell on each other. You know what I'm saying? But yeah. All right, let's keep going. What else? Like this video as you guys come in. Thank you guys so much for watching. I truly appreciate it. So Fool being asked, do you get good money doing this? If I was doing this for money, I wouldn't be here. I wouldn't stop. I would have stopped right now. I would have been like, all right, bye. Bye, y'all. Talk to y'all later. I'm doing this because I feel called to do this. I feel like, why not? Why not do it? You know? I'm not doing it for the money. 2,000 subscribers, not doing it for the money. Now, come back to me in a few years when I'm at 100,000 subscribers, and if you ask me that same question, I can say I'm partially doing it for the money, and I'm doing what I feel in my heart as Lady Millionaire, as Trisha, okay? I'm telling y'all my name, Trisha. I'm doing this because I feel in my heart that it's the right thing to do. The same way people could get on their phone and talk about nonsense and talk about stuff that doesn't matter, talk about things that are destructive, right? That mean absolutely nothing, like just brain fog. Then I feel it is my obligation. This helps me sleep better at night, knowing that I'm putting truth, my truth, okay, that I'm putting out there for you to vet out, and I'm speaking up for what is right. I get money from my regular 9-to-5, and I get paid very well. And part of the reason I remember, throughout my journey, like in my 20s, when I was being called to be a high priestess, right? And I was being called to initiate and things like that. I was very I just kept pushing back against what I was feeling. Just kept pushing back. Like, I don't want this. I want a regular life. I just want to be a wife and have kids and have a family and just live the American dream. I don't want to be a high priestess. I don't want to hear things. I don't want to see things in my dream. I don't want this. And then I got to a point where I was like, well, Trisha, why are you denying yourself? Why are you denying a part of yourself that has always been there? Are you afraid? Are you afraid of yourself? Are you afraid of what you're going to see and what you've been feeling? And I'm like, I know I ain't no punk ass bitch. So it was either deny that part of myself and just try to live the picket, the traditional life, or be true to myself and know that, the creator of all my ancestors, my spirit guides, and the person that is for me is going to naturally come to me and see me for who I am. And I'm happy, and I'm glad I made that decision. So if I was doing this for money, I know I'm very long-winded, but bear with me. If I was doing this for money, I would not be here. YouTube doesn't pay me anything right now. Come back and ask me in 5 years if I'm doing it for money. But right now, I'm just starting out. I've had my page since 2011, but I've just started posting on here, like maybe a year and a half ago. Yeah, like 2020, the end of 2024 is when I really started like, okay, let's start, posting readings and things like that and just kind of opening up to the public. Um, so yeah, that's the answer. All right, so the next card that came out is the Chariot. Yes, this is divine justice coming in. And I'm telling you, the theme is black and white. Okay? I'm getting a theme here. Black and white bird, black and white guitar. This is Jimi Hendrix. We got another ancestor coming through, working hard on the other side to expose the evil deeds of the music industry, the entertainment industry, the political arena as well. Okay? So we got the black and white guitar on the bottom. So the theme is yin and yang. There is a time for peace, but right now we're at war. Literally, spiritually, figuratively, we're at war. Okay? So yeah, so this is Jimi Hendrix. Shout out to Jimi Hendrix, shout out to Prince coming in with the Chariot. The Chariot in the traditional card has two horses going in opposite directions. Well, not opposite directions, but they're facing opposite directions, but they have the same goal, the same destination. So what I'm getting is that Spirit is saying, in order for us to destroy evil in the world, we're gonna have to go through it by different means. Some people go through it through, protesting, through prayer, through, making legislative changes and things like that. And there are other people that are doing rituals, they're doing spell work, they're, or they're volunteering in their community and things like that. They're being upstanding citizens in their community to bring light into the world. There are many different ways to achieve a goal. So in order for us to bring down evil, we got to do many different things. Sometimes you got to fight fire with fire. You got to fight evil with evil. You got to get dark and dirty and in there. And just know, when you're done, when you've won, because remember, in the beginning, because a lot of people say, oh, in the end, we won. No, it ain't the end, honey. When you win, that's when it really begins. That's when it's time to celebrate, okay? In the beginning, we won. The light wins, okay? In the beginning, we win. So if you don't mind getting dark and dirty and doing what you got to do in order for that to happen, then, what do you say? I'm married to James Collins. I'm getting a divorce. Okay. So yeah, so if you don't mind getting dark and dirty and doing what you got to do, just clean yourself off at the end. Okay? So yeah, I just heard it's going to get bloody. Oh my God. So there's going to be more bloodshed with the red here. Prince is wearing the red. Oh my goodness. There's going to be more bloodshed. It's going to be more bloodshed here. Unfortunately. Shout out to the people that are in the military. Like, literally. Definitely sending them prayers and protection. So yeah, I'm getting there's going to be a lot more bloodshed. Okay? But it has to happen. Like, this is blood that needs to be spilled in order for peace to happen, to restore balance, to bring peace, to bring order. Okay? The Chariot is about moving forward. All right? Doing what you got to do, moving forward. Like, no distractions. We're not being distracted by what's going on here, what's going on there. This is very direct, focused energy. Okay? Even if it's two people that have different ideas, right? That's why I say you don't need to agree with everything that I say to join my live, to like the video. You don't need to agree with me. But we all have to work together collectively, right? So the Chariot is about that. It's about two people that have opposite ideas, right? We have a black guitar, white guitar, opposing ideas, but they have the same goal in mind, right? I just heard the enemy of my enemy is my friend, something like that. I just heard that. Okay? And the emperor is about order. Okay? The emperor is about order. Very strict. So it's very Swift, very strict, does not care about how you feel. The Emperor sometimes could be very calculated, very cold, okay, because he is there to bring order into something that is not in order, to chaos, okay? Hold on, you guys, hold on. All right, sorry, y'all. Sorry, you guys. I'm back. Through chaos comes order. Yes, absolutely. Absolutely. So, and the Eight of Coins talks about working hard, right? So our ancestors, they are working diligently. Hard work is happening behind the scenes. Okay. I'm getting ancestors, archangels working hard behind the scenes here. The next card that came out is the Six of Cups, okay? So the Six of Cups is also about emotional balance, bringing back emotional balance to the planet, okay? Excuse me. The Six of Cups is also about nostalgia, so things of the past. So things happening in the past affecting the future. This kind of gives me an energy of karma, like a karmic energy, okay? Almost like a reckoning of sorts. But the Six of Cups talks about balance. It talks about loving energy, right? Bringing balance. And unfortunately, blood has to be shed right now in order for balance to happen. All right, we got the Empress. There go Beyonce. There goes Beyonce. Now, Beyonce is not an ancestor yet, right? She's among the living. So this is something that's happening in the now. Something is being born here, okay? So they're showing Beyonce, but she's pregnant. She's with child. She's creating something, okay? So I do feel like once we get out of this turbulent, chaotic war, time of war and all of that, I do feel like a new earth, and I'm not talking about a new world order. I'm not talking about conspiracy type of stuff. I'm talking about realistic, logical stuff. Once we get over this time, it is going to take time. So it's going to take about another 5 years, right? 5 to 10 years. Um, we're going to see a new earth emerge that is more balanced with the Empress. Because look, we have the husband and the wife, right? We have a pair in this reading. So this tells me that there is balance here. There is order. There's masculine. There's feminine. The feminine energy is coming in with creation. She's pregnant. She's coming in with life, new life, okay? Right? So the Emperor and the Empress is here. So the Empress brings nurturing. So the Emperor is, this is a time for war. Okay, I got on my red. I'm ready for blood. It is what it is. Get out the way if you're not trying to get hurt. And then the Empress comes in and says, now she still has red, but she has little specks of red and white, right? So the white can talk about being pure, but there's resonance of stuff here. So it's not like we're not going to go through things. We've gone through things, right? We've shed blood. But guess what? We've patched up, we've healed ourselves up, we've moved together as a collective, okay? So there is going to be a new way of doing business in the music industry. There's going to be a new way of doing business in general. There's going to be new policies that's going to come out of this. There's going to be, yes, they're not are they pomegranates? They are pomegranates, but it's still red in color. So like pomegranates are usually like orange reddish, but it is still red in color. But yes, they are pomegranates. So we are going to see new things emerge after the calm. Right now we're in a storm. Once it calms down, we're going to see new things emerge. There's going to be new policies, even probably a new political way of doing things. Now, I'm not saying there's no longer going to be Republican, Democrat. That's probably still going to be around, but I feel like people are going to lean more towards something new. I'm not sure what that is, but it's going to be something new, okay? So the Empress is bringing new life, new way of doing things, but she's also bringing like a nurturing type of energy, okay? Right? It's almost like, your father comes in, he, disciplines you, and he's talk stern to you, and he's like, listen, this is what you need to do. He might put you on punishment, and then mom comes in and is like, it's okay. It's all right. He's doing it for your own good. You know, do your chores. I'm here to console you. Do you want something to eat? You want me to make you some soup? So there's going to be nurturing energy after this. It might even be more women in politics. I don't know if the world is ready for that, but there could be changes of that as well, where it goes from masculine energy to feminine energy. Okay. So we could see that. Ooh, the Hermit card. Yeah. So the Hermit talks about darkness, a period of isolation. Okay. But it's almost like self-isolation, because I feel like right now what's happening with like the Jeffrey Epsteins, with Rihanna, and just in general, what's this expose of sorts that's happening. Some people say like, oh, it's a distraction. It's not a distraction. It's happening now because it's supposed to happen. And I feel like in order for us as humans, right, that are living on this planet, in order for us to have a very well-rounded view of the times that we're living in, we need to see what is being done in the dark. Okay? We need to wise up, right? The time of ignorance is over. Blind ignorance is over. You can no longer use the excuse of, oh, I didn't know. Then figure it out. Do your research. Read. I tell my daughter that all the time. Even me, like I read a lot anyway, but I always tell my daughter, like, I'm like, do you have any homework? And she's like, oh, I don't have any homework, mom. Okay, find a book to read. Find something to do. You know what I'm saying? Because what is that going to do? That is going to enrich your mind, increase your vocabulary. It's going to make you wise, like the Hermit. The Hermit spends a lot of time alone and in self-isolation, because that is where the Hermit learns, is through working on your inner self. So America right now is learning about what is happening on its soil. Forget about what's happening not 100% forget, but for now, forget about what's happening outside of America. And this is for the people that live here. The Hermit tells you to focus on within. Clean your dirty house before you can go to someone else's house and attempt to clean. I'm not going to leave my bed messy to go to my girlfriend's house and go make her bed. That doesn't make any sense. I'm going to clean up my bed, take care of my home, make sure my home is clean. And then once I'm done with my spare time, I can go in and be of service to you, right? So the Hermit talks about doing the inner work. Doing the inner work so you can gain wisdom, okay? So right now, we're learning about what's been happening on American soil, what people are doing. Trafficking, not just trafficking children, sex trafficking, all that stuff. Like, all this stuff is illegal and it's not okay. I think a lot of people, they kind of, even in the movies with like, what's that movie? Those mobster movies and stuff like that, pimp movies, pimp culture, people promoting pimp culture. That is not okay. That's illegal activity. Okay? And we need to clean that up first before we can go somewhere else and clean up their house. All right? Yeah. Look at that. The Lovers. The Lovers. So with the Lovers, I'm getting Gemini energy. And the president right now, he's a Gemini. Okay? So I'm getting Gemini energy with this. The Lovers now in this context, I don't feel like it's talking about like two people in love. I feel like it's more talking about duality, two-face, having two faces, right? One face says one thing, one face says another, okay? So this is kind of giving me like two-face energy, a little bit conniving, but I don't want to say conniving, but being able to see things from both sides of the spectrum and then making your own assessment. in order to move forward. Okay. It can talk about moving in the energy of love. So after a time of war, love is emerging. Okay. But it's going to be, it's going to be a while. It's going to be a while before we see that, unfortunately. Hold on, y'all. Because my thing is about to die and I don't want it to shut off on y'all. Give me 1 second. Sorry, y'all. Hold on. Let me plug this in. There we go. There we go. Let's plug that in. Okay. All right. So we have the Lovers, which represents Gemini energy. And if you notice, they're standing in, it looks like the Garden of Eden, right? So we have the Tree of Life here. Okay. I feel like a lot of people are going to take the natural, there's going to be more people that want to just go 100% natural. Like the natural way of doing things. There's still going to be people that, use technology and, there's always tech savvy people. But I feel like after about 5 to 6 years, we're going to see a lot more people wanting to live more in alignment with nature. And I'm not saying people are going to be camping outside and no, I'm not talking about that. I mean, practically, like they're going to want to live more cohesive with nature, right? So less pollution in the water, right? Less pollution in the water, more eco-friendly. Okay, I just heard more eco-friendly, right? So back to the natural way of doing things. If you notice, these people are naked. The only thing that's covered up is their genital area. Okay, so there's gonna be more peace and love, hippie type of vibes. There are gonna be people that adopt that type of mentality. Okay, but it's gonna take time for us to get there. This is not something that's gonna happen overnight. Thank you. Yeah, that is Prince on that card. So far we got Prince, we have Jimi Hendrix, Beyonce. So we got 2 ancestors and 1 person that is alive. All right, what else? What else? And then I want to talk about Rihanna. I'm going to talk about her again. I went live and talked about her the other day, but I feel like there's more that needs to be said. Okay, so we have we have the 7 of Cups. Now the 7 of Cups came out this way. I feel like right now the 7 of Cups talks about making wise choices. We need to make better choices. Okay. And I'm going to say we because I'm also included in this as well because I live here, right? I live in America with everyone else. So I'm not just going to say, oh, y'all need to make better choices. No, we need to make better choices. Hi. We need to make better choices. The 7 of Cups talks about having a lot of things presented to you, but knowing what to choose because not every cup is going to have something good in it, right? There are cups that are not for you. There are cups that are distractions. So this is a card of discernment, making the right choice, okay? Having options, right? So you have many different ways you can do things, but choosing the best option for you, using discernment. And with discernment comes wisdom. So in order for you to get to the Hermit, you got to go through this 7 of Cups. You got to be faced with a lot of choices, right? So one cup might be super tempting, right? I want to see what's in there. There's a lot of money in there. There's a lot of gold. There's a lot of, it's great times. It looks like a good time. But one of these cups might have poison in it, right? One of these cups might have poison. Okay? So I just heard everything that glitters isn't gold. Okay? So you have to go through a period of almost being tempted. It's almost like a test of sorts, right? And I'm not saying this like in a religious way, just like in general. Like you're going to be tempted. You could be tempted with maybe some of you find, I don't know, like a bag of money somewhere. You walking down the street and you see a bag of money in an envelope and it says Citizens Bank on it, or it says Wells Fargo, or whatever bank. It says a bank on it. And when you look at it, you're like, wait, this had to have fallen out of somebody's purse. This had to have fallen out of somebody's bag. But instead of taking that money and reporting it stolen, you take it and you put it in your bag. Now, technically, did anyone see you do it? Technically, did you steal? No, you didn't technically steal. But you know that that money belonged to someone that is probably going to be crushed once they realize that they dropped this envelope full of money. Okay? So it's about doing the right thing, doing what the right thing is, even when no one is looking, even when no one knows what you're doing. What are the choices that you're making behind the scenes? Okay? Because the choices that you make behind the scenes do affect your reality. Okay? So that's what I was getting with that Seven of Cups. Discernment, being wise, making better choices. Okay. Can I have one more card to close out this message, please? One more card to close out this message. Okay. Can I have the cards face up, please? Let me put these back. Okay, thank you. You guys, I love this because this is, yes, I wanted to end the reading on a positive note. The Ten of Cups. I feel like I still have faith in humanity. I'm going to say that. Are there people in this world that are an embarrassment to the human species? Yes, it's embarrassing. It's embarrassing. You know, the people that are doing dark things, it's embarrassing that unfortunately they're a part of the human race. But in the end, we're going to be in a much more lighter, much more happier state of being. And I know, and I'm not talking about, you know, a utopia world where everything is perfect and everybody's kumbaya and we're just naked and just dancing in the sun. No, I mean, and even seeing this card makes me happy. That's why I'm smiling. Like, I feel like we need to stay the course, like, be vigilant. Great times and happy times are coming. Okay, I know it sounds super cliche. I know we're like in the middle of war right now and there's a lot of things going on and people are disseminating a lot of information, but we need to know the truth in order to, you know, make the best decisions. We need to know the truth. And unfortunately, some truths are going to be very hard. Some truths are going to be very sad and very disappointing. The people that you once loved or that you may have looked up to, or, you know, you like their music or they were your favorite actor or actress, they're pieces of poop. They're nasty human beings. They are Satanists. Yes, they participate in rituals and all of that, and they harm children as part of a ritual to demons. Yes, that happens. The same way people get on their knees and pray to God, there are people that make sacrifices to demons. We can't just not say anything and expect it to go away. No, if God exists, you think the devil doesn't exist? So, but ultimately we win, okay? The Ten of Cups talks about joy, happiness, happy times, okay? So the Emperor and the Empress, they came here to bring order. It may not come in the way that we want, but it is going to be beneficial to us. You know, use your wisdom, take in account of what you have going on within yourself, and make the best choices, okay? This is part of the reason why the people that are, you know, we're watching people fall is because they didn't make the best choices. They were given all of this money. You know, people were given all these resources, opportunities to make millions, and they chose to make the decisions and to participate in what they participated in, you know? But we can't let that skew our perception of money and what it means to be wealthy. Being wealthy is what we all should strive for. Nobody should want to be poor or stay in poverty. You should want to climb that ladder and thrive. And you don't need to step on anyone's back to climb the ladder. There's a path for everybody. You know what I'm saying? So yeah, so the message is money isn't evil, people are evil. Okay. So yeah, so that was the message when it comes to that. How are you guys doing? Let's take a quick little intermission. I'm gonna put up the music. It's a little intermission. I've been talking for like 52 minutes straight. Hi, Dougie. Hi, Pierre. We're gonna do a little quick intermission, take a sip of water, and then I want to talk about Rihanna. We're gonna talk about Rihanna next. Brief intermission, y'all. Thank you so much for those of you that have stayed on the live with me. I appreciate it. So this is Palo Santo. I'm just gonna smudge real quick again. Clean off these cards. I don't think I'll need the cards for what I want to talk about when it comes to Rihanna, but we'll see. Yeah, I don't think I'm gonna need these, so I'm gonna go ahead and put these back. Thank you. Not happy birthday. All right, y'all. Y'all ready to hear what I have to say about Rihanna? I don't know, the Rihanna fans out there, I'm sorry to say this, but I'll say this. I'm not just gonna keep it just on Rihanna specifically, but just in general for women, right? Remember, as women, men in and of themselves, what's going on with her? I'm lost. With Rihanna, I kind of want to preface it with this before I talk about Rihanna, because yeah, she's a celebrity, but this can apply to any and everyone. Okay. Um, as women and men too, men, you guys are very powerful, very special beings. And please understand, if you don't know this already, I'm sure most of you that are watching this are very intelligent, right? Because all my subscribers are super intelligent. Like we know what's up. We know what time it is. I feel like with men, your sacred energy, your sexual energy is very powerful. Okay. We as women would not be able to bring life into the world if you did not literally put your life force inside of us. Now, this is an adult conversation, so it should not be any children on this live. Wait, did he cheat? We're gonna get to that. I'm long-winded. Y'all gotta bear with me. I'm long-winded. I like to drag things out because I feel like it all makes sense in the end. Like if I just jump to the tea, to the juice, to the meat, it's like you're not gonna get the full picture. So let me, bring out an appetizer. Let me give you a little salad, a little soup, a little bread and butter before I get to the steak. Okay? But we're definitely gonna get to the cheating, ASAP Rocky, Rihanna, and what's really going on with them too, spiritually. Okay. I'm new to the channel. I just stumbled here. LOL, I'm patient. Yes, have patience. But thank you so much for watching. I appreciate it. And if you like this content, definitely subscribe. I'd be more than happy to have you. And that goes to anyone that's on this live that is new to this channel. So understand that Men are very important. So what I'm about to say, yes, I'm focusing on women right now, but men, that does not discount your importance, and that you are equally important in the grand scheme of things, okay? It's like men are the mini gods and the women are the mini goddesses. There is no goddesses without the gods. There's no gods without the goddesses, right? It's yin and yang, even in the divine realm. So, but what I want to say to women, as a woman, I have a portal. I've given birth to a child with the help of a man, obviously, but given birth, I know that I have a sacred portal within my being, in between my legs. We have to take responsibility for who we allow into our portal. So we can't, a lot of times, when we share energy, sexual energy with another person, even if you are using protection, even if there's a barrier of protection there, you are still exchanging karmic energy. Remember, there's good karma and bad karma. So when I say karmic, it doesn't mean, oh, something bad's going to happen if you sleep with this person. No, you're exchanging both. Great things could happen in your life after a sexual encounter or sexual exchange with someone. Your life could just go from 0 to 10 because you was with the right person, and it's just like everything in your life is going great. Great. It's almost like you have a streak of luck after you've been with this person, right? The same thing is true for the opposite. You can be with someone and exchange energy, sexual energy with this person, meaning you guys have sex, and then it's almost as if you sleep with this person and now your life is in shambles. Everything is going wrong. You get into a car accident. You're losing money. People stop talking to you. You're getting an influx of haters. So our portal is very, very important, and we have to take responsibility for our portal. We can't blame, oh, he lied to me, or I didn't know, or she was manipulating me. I didn't know she was a gold digger. And no, you got to take responsibility. And as women, we have to take responsibility for who we allow into our body. Unless we were, unless our body was violated. If our body is violated against our will, obviously we can't help that. So that doesn't, I'm not talking about that. I'm talking about when you willingly, consensually give yourself and allow a man into your body. Please vet this man out. Please know who he is before you're with him. I feel like promiscuity has been marketed and promoted out here way too much, where women now are super hypersexualized, hyper promiscuous, with no regard for what this man is, who this man is, what kind of man he is, what kind of life did he live? Is he a PDF file? Has he unalived anyone? Does he, how does he feel about women? Does he appreciate women? Does he love his mom? Like, is he a good dad? Right? And I say all that to say, even with our own partners, our husbands, our wives, we have to vet people out. You cannot just sleep with anyone willy-nilly and think that there's not something spiritual happening. Even if you think, oh, it's just sex, it's just that, it's not nothing else. But it is, though. It's more than that. It's never just sex. It's always something happening spiritually when you are with someone, okay? So, what the hell does this have to do with Rihanna, Lady Billionaire? I'm about to tell you. After I take this sip of water, hold on. Now, if you guys didn't watch my last live, I showed a picture of A$AP Rocky in a satanic circle. Some may call it a pentagram. Okay. Thank you, Vivian Medina. I appreciate you. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Thank you for the hearts, you guys. Those spirits come with you. I'm learning now at a later age about how sacred. Yeah. Yeah. Yep. Mm-hmm. Yeah. When it comes to Rihanna, I showed a picture of A$AP Rocky in a satanic pentagram thing. He had a book in his hand. You guys can Google this now. If you Google picture of A$AP Rocky, you can Google what I'm talking about. You'll see the picture. It's all over. It's viral. And they kind of put a filter on it to make it black and white, but it's A$AP Rocky. So it's A$AP Rocky in this satanic circle. He's holding a book. It looks like a book, like a satanic book that has chants on it. Allegedly. Allegedly. I wasn't there, right? Remember, I wasn't there. So everything I'm saying is allegedly. All right. He's holding this book in his hand, and it seems to be what he's reading on it is chants. And he's in the middle of the circle, so he is the master of ceremony. He is the one that whatever demon that he's calling in is going to use his body, use his vessel. So he is allowing himself to allegedly be possessed by whatever demon comes forward because he's in the middle of the circle. Now, he's the master of ceremony. Also in that picture, you're going to see men, and they're young too. They're so young. Like it's so crazy. But it's young guys around him. They also have books in their hand and they're chanting along with him. Okay? Now, this picture was probably taken before, well, not probably. This was taken before he was with Rihanna, before they, went public and now they have kids and all of that. So this is before that. But remember, Rihanna and A$AP Rocky knew each other, in the industry for many years prior to that. They knew each other, okay? When she was dating Chris Brown and all of that, even after the breakup with Chris Brown, they knew of each other, okay? So they were friends before they became lovers. Now, so a person can't say, well, Rihanna didn't know that A$AP Rocky was a Satanist. She didn't know. But it was her responsibility. Because if you're willing to give your body to a man and create life with this man, now you've extended the bloodline. It is also your responsibility to vet this man out. So Rihanna can't say the same way Beyonce can't say, oh, I didn't know what Jay-Z was doing. I didn't know what he was into. That has nothing. I don't know what my husband is doing when I'm not around. But it's your responsibility to know your husband's character enough to know that that's probably not the man for you. It's your responsibility as a woman to vet that out. You need to know who you're with. Know who you're laying down with. Ask questions. Ask him, have you unalived someone before? These are real things. Hey, have you unalived someone before? Have you ever harmed a child? Have you killed animals before? Have you done anything devious that I need to know about? What's your background? It's not just about, oh, does he have money? Does he look good? Can he provide? Can he drop a bag on me? It's about what kind of person are you? You want my body. You want to be with me. You think I'm beautiful and you want to sleep with me and see what I look like naked. Let's see what you look. What is your soul looking like? What's the soul looking like? And I believe that Rihanna knew that A$AP Rocky was a Satanist. And I think that she's okay with that now. And why do I think she's okay with that? Because she's in a relationship with him publicly. Rihanna is now saying, that's her man, my man, my man, my man. So she knows her man, her man, her man. She knows that her man is a Satanist. And for someone to say, well, Rihanna has nothing to do with that, or, that has nothing to do with Rihanna, that doesn't mean she's evil. Remember, I didn't use the word evil. I said that he's a Satanist. And that can be synonymous with evil. And I say all that to say that Rihanna is not as innocent as we think. Or some of us may not think she's innocent. Some of us are already hip to the game. But she's not as innocent as her PR team does a great job of, by the way, of putting forth. Unfortunately, she's not. Rihanna and what happened to her with the lady coming to her home and letting off a pow, 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 pow with her children in the home, and one of those bullets actually penetrating the wall there, that was karmic. And that was, I believe, and this is my own intuitive personal belief as a spiritualist, as a high priestess, I believe that that was a spiritual karmic backlash from A$AP Rocky. Okay? Because you are okay with your man doing stuff like this. And what do you think A$AP Rocky was calling in when he's in this middle of this pentagram here? What energy you think he's channeling? I'm about to show y'all. For those of you that don't really want to search it, I'm going to show you. I'll search it for you. Why would Rihanna be okay with having children with a man that is a Satanist? Okay? Exactly. Exactly, Big Knee. They both participate in the rituals. What I say, pentacle? You know what I mean. Pentacle, pentagram, shentagram. Okay? You know what I mean. Okay? Pentagram. You think she didn't know that? Look at that. He's the master of ceremony in the middle. And if you know anything about rituals, the person, so when you draw a sigil on the floor, right? Because even in voodoo we don't do that, but there's something similar to that to call in other energies, what we would call demigods, right? And no, they're not demons, they are demigods, meaning they're half human, half godlike. It's a long thing. I'll get into that in another video. But when you draw a sigil on the floor to call in an energy, you open up a portal. So that is what he's doing here. This sigil was drawn on the floor. The portal is now open. So you've opened up an energetic portal. The person that is in the middle of the portal, that is that person giving their okay to whatever energy is coming in through that portal that they've opened up. Okay? So ASAP Rocky, according to this picture, was calling in a demon. And 9 times out of 10, he was calling in a demon for money, because that's what people do it for. Let's just be honest. The reason why, children are being harmed, these deplorable things are happening, it's for money. It's for material gain. Because he didn't want to do the work of integrity to get to the bag anyway. He would have gotten a Rihanna anyway. He didn't need to do that. And Rihanna can't say, oh my gosh, yes, is she a victim? Unfortunately, she is. But I don't feel bad for Rihanna. What I feel bad for is those children that were in that home when that crazy lady attempted to unalive them. I feel bad for the children. I really don't feel bad for Rihanna, because Rihanna knew exactly what she was dealing with when it comes to ASAP Rocky. And he wasn't as successful at the time. So it makes sense. Yes. Rihanna's a billionaire. When I found out that Rihanna was with ASAP Rocky, I was 100% in shock. Like, what? Why? But it makes sense. He was given Rihanna to a certain degree. And the reason why he was given Rihanna is because Rihanna is in alignment with that same satanic energy, allegedly. This is my belief. Do not take anything I say as the end all be all, y'all. Okay? Those bad entities come back to collect the dead. Exactly. I love that my audience is, y'all right here with me, and I love that. Yes. Those bad entities came to collect. And demons don't care about if you got kids. They don't care about if you're sick. They don't care about if you're black, white, rich, poor. They don't care. You ask me for money. Because remember, demons cannot communicate with you without human beings giving the okay. Demons don't have the power that we think they have. They have the power of suggestion, of influence, but they can only influence an idle mind, right? He intentionally did this. So it's not like the demon said, you, ASAP, I'm going to possess you and make you rich because you're deserving and I want to give you the money. Now, give me your soul. That's not how it works. It's human beings out of greed, out of ego, out of impatience, because they don't want to wait their turn, right? They don't want to wait to be blessed by the creator of all. They want to kind of take shortcuts. They go and call on the demon themselves. One could say, and energetically what I'm feeling is they go and interrupt the demons from their slumber and make sigils like this. Get their cheap candles, because these look like dollar store candles, okay? They all look like little dollar store bodega candles, okay? It's random, and it will seem like something out of a horror movie, and it will not stop until the dead is paid in one way or another. I'm trying to tell you. You're absolutely right. 7280. Tyler, the creator, said him and ASAP Rocky shared an apartment that only had one bed in it, and they were roommates for a year. And I'll get back to that because I want to finish my thought. I'll get back to that comment because there's something I want to say about the anal. It's something about anal. Please, if there's any children, because I know it's about 5:15. There should not be any children in this live. I purposely set this for adults only. So if you have any kids in the background, send them away because we're gonna talk about some real adult stuff. But what I was gonna say something. Oh my gosh, I lost my train of thought. Lost my train of thought there. Yes. So what I feel like is like ASAP Rocky disturbed the demon. The demon didn't choose ASAP Rocky. ASAP Rocky chose the demon. Okay? The same way Rihanna chose ASAP to be the one that she has children with, to be her man, as if she did something so great. Now you're facing the backlash of what your man did, of what you and your man did. So when you sleep with someone, when you exchange energy and have sex with someone, please know that you're going to take on whatever great karma they have. You're also going to take in whatever negative karma they have. If this person has done dark things, unfortunately for you, you're going to get a little bit of backlash. There's going to be some ricochet to you as the woman, as the portal, right? So it is our responsibility to vet these people out. So, someone, like I said, someone could say, oh, Rihanna, she didn't know. How was she supposed to know that her dude was into this type of stuff? It was her responsibility to vet him out. You're a millionaire, girl. So I have the right to assume that Rihanna, you two are a Satanist. And I feel bad for the children. I wish that this did not happen. I wish it didn't. Because it's very unfortunate that children are caught in the crossfire. The woman that went to their home and did that, remember, she was saying in her previous lives, but she is, she's mentally ill, she's possibly schizophrenic, bipolar, depression, whatever, or it could even be drug induced. She said that she was seeing Rihanna for years, that Rihanna was stalking her in the spiritual realm for years, and that Rihanna was the devil and all of that. Now, why would she say something like that out of the blue? Why Rihanna? Why so random? Why so random? I've been through it. You would literally have to pray and fight your way out of it. Yes. But in their case, their children will suffer karmic debt of the parents. Yes. Yes. So, as women, we have to take part of that blame. Rihanna, you're going to have to take part of this blame. And let me tell you something, ASAP Rocky will throw Rihanna under that bus faster than she can blink. This is my opinion. And again, take everything I say with a grain of salt. My opinion, I don't know these people. I'm just reading the energy and what they're putting out there. Okay? Unfortunately for her, her kids will suffer. It's very unfortunate. Very, very unfortunate. Okay? So that's really what I wanted to say is that, when you exchange sexual energy, please be mindful of who you're with. Like, literally, your life depends on it, y'all. It really is. Like, the days of just casually sleeping with someone and, oh, it ain't nothing, or we used a condom, it ain't, no, the energy was still exchanged. Kissing, whatever, anything that kissing, oral, the energy, anal, the energy is still exchanged, whether you're using protection or not. Now, I'm not saying to be afraid of everybody you meet, but vet people out. Let people show you who they are. See what their lifestyle is. How do they live their life? What do they believe in? What are their beliefs? What are their goals? What are their aspirations? Like, let's look at, is she cute? Is she pretty? Does she have a big ass? Does she have big titties? Does she know how to cook? No. What kind of woman is she? Is she a nurturer? How does she treat children? How does she treat her dad? Does she have respect for her father? Does she respect men? Does she respect women? How is she around other women? The same thing with men. What kind of man is he? Is he honest? Is he going to protect me? Is he a good man? Has he taken a life? Okay. Has he harmed children? Is he a sexual deviant? Things like that. Nicki Minaj. You think Nicki Minaj is not going to get backlash for the man that she chose? Yes. Okay, and it's unfortunate because they're celebrities, so the spotlight is on them. So I'm not saying that they're the only women that make these choices. There are a lot of women that we may even know that make really dumb choices when it comes to their partner, when it comes to their husband. It's very, very dark. And we can't just say, well, that's him. That don't have nothing to do with me, but it does have everything to do with you. Once you lay down with that person, everything that they do has something to do with you and vice versa. Okay? So, yeah. A lot of them being some Aleister Crowley stuff. Yup. Left hand. Yes. Yes. Left hand path. Yeah. A lot of them. A lot. And what's crazy is none of them are forced. Because remember, demonic energy cannot force you to do anything. They can't bypass your free will. They cannot do that. They can manipulate, they can influence, but they cannot bypass your free will. You have to give them the okay. Same thing when it's when you're making a choice, or whether you're choosing the left hand path or the right hand path. You are asked a question. What is your choice? Which do you choose? You can either choose to go through this door, choose to go through that door. And you can't say that I'm not choosing anything, because the path of indifference leads to destruction as well. So, yes, you have to make a choice. Are you going to choose to be a great person, to do the right thing, even when no one is looking? Or are you going to choose the shortcut, the way that maybe lead to money quicker, but you may have to shed some innocent blood along the way? You may have to do a couple things, maybe sacrifice yourself, your body, your integrity, sell your soul, so to speak, because there is no such thing as really selling your soul, but you sacrifice a part of yourself, you're a part of your dignity. You give that up. You give up your booty hole, even if you don't want to. And I'm not talking about the people that willingly give it up, but the people that it's snatched from you, it's taken from you because you've given permission to this entity. You went to this entity, you went to this demon and said, I want to be rich. I want to be wealthy. I want to be successful. The demon didn't come to you, you came to it. So it's going to give you that. It gave A$AP Rocky, he's technically a billionaire. Well, I don't know if they're married or not, but he has children with a billionaire. If A$AP Rocky leaves today, he doesn't have to work for the rest of his life, and neither does his children. He has money for generations to come. So did the demon fulfill their end of the bargain? Yes. But when that demon comes to collect, you can't be mad when they ask for your children, when they ask for your wife, your mom, your dad, your loved one, your dog. You don't have any kids? Okay, you got animals that you love? We'll take that. We'll take your body. We'll take your health. We'll shrink you with cancer. You know, we'll fill you with disease. We gave you the money, but when they come to collect, you can't say, oh, no, 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 I already, no. They gave you your part. You asked for something, they gave it. Now we want your left arm. We want your eye. Let's take that eye out. Let's make you blind. Matter of fact, let's take your mind. And now you're on medication for the rest of your life just to sustain your mental. You know what I'm saying? So yes, it is a choice. It is 100% a choice. And we have to use discernment. And I'm saying we because this is even for myself. Like, I was faced with many choices. Okay? And I know that I'm a great person because of things that I've done behind the scenes that nobody will ever know about. Opportunities that were presented to me that I turned down because I was like, absolutely not. Because you're not about to ask me to compromise myself or my family for any amount of money. And at that time, I needed it. And I said, absolutely not. No, I will wait my turn. It's all right. It's okay. I'll wait. I'll wait. Yes, one wrong move can cost you. Absolutely. So, unfortunately, what happened with Rihanna and her children, it's very unfortunate. And I know some people may not want to hear this. Some people may say, oh, this is negative and we don't need to hear this right now. But you do need to hear this right now. You do. Because everything that happens in the physical reality, please know 100% that it is happening in the spiritual world first, before we even see a remnants of it here. So what that lady did Yes, she's 100% to blame, and yes, she belongs in prison for a very long time for what she did. However, there was karmic, negative karma behind that. And her children, unfortunately, were put in harm's way. That's not a coincidence, and it's not just a, oh, this just happened. No. Rihanna is complicit on a spiritual level, unfortunately. Okay. So, that's really what I wanted to say to my women that are watching this, and the men too. Just really be mindful. I know men, they tell you, like, oh, with men is different. We could be with somebody, and yes, you can. Yes, you're the giver, but understand that you are sharing in the karmic energy of that woman as well. So it's not just one-way street, it's a two-way street. Women, we have to be mindful of who we're with intimately, and men, you also have to be mindful with who you're with intimately and who you're putting your energy, your seed, your life force into. Okay? Because I have a lot of male friends that tell me about the crazy things that women have done to them. Okay? And vice versa. Okay? So it's a two-way street. So just use our discernment. Let's be vigilant. Let's stay mindful. Because like they're saying in my chat, one run move can cost you. It could cost you your life. It could cost you your mind, your sanity, and it's a very real thing. I know it seems very abstract and very otherworldly, but it's very much real. And I always tell people, you don't need to believe in witchcraft for it to happen and for it to be real. Okay? You can protect yourself. There's definitely ways to arm yourself. Okay? With every demon, there is an opposing archangel that is there to fight on your behalf. You know what I'm saying? You can sleep well at night knowing that you did the right thing. I did what I was supposed to do, and know that you have an army of people, including whatever you want to believe in, God, the creator, Allah, whatever your belief is. Know that that being that you pray to is also on your side. Okay? So, let's make the right decisions, make the right choices. Do I want to give a closing message? Do you guys want me to do a closing reading? Let me know. Let me know if you guys want me to pull some more cards and give like a closing message. Okay. So we'll do a closing reading. I'll use this again. Okay. All right, so let's get a closing message for us, for those of us that are watching. And thank you so much for liking the video. Thank you so much for joining the live. I appreciate it. If you want to see more content like this on your favorite celebrities, tarot readings, go ahead and subscribe, okay? Subscribe, hit the like button, hit the notification bell so you can know when I go live and when I upload new readings. And yeah, also check out my community tab, because sometimes I'll put stuff in my community tab, like books and things like that as well. Okay. Okay. All right. Yo, the two cards came out again, y'all. It's the same cards. The 8 of coins and the Chariot. Spirit is telling me the message still stands. Even if we have opposing views, even if we may not see things the same way, or we may not interpret things the same way, we may not have the same beliefs, we still have the same goal. And if you share the goal with me of a better world for ourselves, for our children, when we're no longer here, our children carrying that on, if you share that same goal, the end goal is peace, love, balance, right? Balance, okay? Then we can come together to work on that common goal. We don't need to agree on everything. We don't need to see eye to eye on everything, okay? And I feel like that is what the black and white guitar represents. I also feel like music heals people. I'm also getting that too. And this is supposed to be Jimi Hendrix, by the way. Is it Jimi Hendrix or is this? No, it is. It's Jimi Hendrix. And I think it's funny because they have him in like a Mason outfit. This is like a Mason table type thing. It's very like, yeah, this has Masonic symbology on it. Okay, so it's something with like Masons as well. With the Chariot, I feel like the message is the same. Working together, even if we have different beliefs, different systems, working together towards the same goal, and we will be successful. And we have to keep. I have Jimi Hendrix hoodie on. I know that's right. Oh my God, that's what's up. Shout out to Jimi Hendrix. There he is, right here. That's what's up. Um, the eight of coins talks about working hard, being focused, staying diligent, staying the course. The eight of coins means you're almost there. Remember, the eight is only 2 coins away from the 10. The 10 of pentacles is the card you want to see. That's the card of abundance, money that comes in the right way, right? It's not attached to darkness, right? It's money that comes with money, more success, more abundance, wealth, health, all of that, right? So continuing to work hard, my mom. Hey, mommy, thank you so much. I think this message is from my ancestors. Oh, that's what's up. That's what's up. So yeah, so the Eight of Pentacles talks about, working hard and staying the course, not giving up because we're almost there. And you can apply this to whatever it is you want in your personal life. We can apply this to, generally in the world. We're almost at the finish line, okay? And this comes with financial success because the Pentacles talks about finances. It talks about money, abundance. Remember, my channel is called Lady Millionaire Tarot. So I'm not with the people that's like, oh, money is evil and I don't want any money. No, money is not evil. People are evil. So in this instance, this is money coming in from your hard work. This is not money that's given to you. This is hard work. You putting in the blood, sweat, and tears, and you're reaping the benefits. You're almost there. You're almost at the 10, okay? You got 8 pentacles. You're 2 pentacles away. You're almost at the 10. So don't give up. Stay the course, okay? And you may have to partner up with people that you may not necessarily have really much in common with them, but you guys share a same goal, okay? I could be talking to someone who's biracial or someone that is like a biracial relationship, like either you're black and like the woman is white, or it's a white woman, or it's a black man, white woman, or white woman, white man, black woman. So I'm talking to a couple here, or a biracial person as well. Okay. Okay, that card came out face down, so I'm not going to take it. Thank you. I'm so glad you're resonating with the message. So we have the same cards are coming out, y'all. Spirit is saying it's the same cards. We ain't got nothing else to say. The same cards are coming out. So the Six of Cups talks about, it's an energy of giving. It's an energy of generosity. It's emotional balance, okay? Being in a balanced state of being. This also talks about great mental health, okay? Because I do feel like, and I read this on another young lady's page too. If you've noticed, the last few years, I want to say the last 10 years, there's been a big spike in mental health. It's like everybody damn near has PTSD or suffering from some type. It's like it went from like 20% to like 40%. It just, well, more realistic. Mental health went from about 12% of the population having like some type of mental health to now 40% of the population having some type of mental health. If that doesn't tell you that there's also something spiritual happening, I don't know what else. I don't know what else is. Because all of the mental health is not drug induced. It's not just from people, smoking crack and meth and all. It's yes, some of it is drug induced mental health, but the majority of the mental health now is psychic and spiritual attacks because people are not covered in the archangels, in whatever it is that they believe in. There's a lot of people that pray and they don't even believe in what they're praying in. So they are walking around here spiritually naked. They don't have the protection of their ancestors. They don't have the protection of God. They don't have the protection of, nothing, no one, not a Allah, not nothing. They just walking around here spiritually naked and just susceptible to all kinds of attacks. Okay? So with the Six of Cups, this is balance being restored mentally, emotionally, emotional balance, okay? So this is mental health being restored. All right. I'll keep going. Let's get some new cards. Let me get a closing message for everyone. The Eight of Cups. Yes. Walking away from everything that does not serve you. Okay? Walking away from anything that does not serve you. The Eight of Cups talks about abandoning what is no longer for you. Okay? If something seems like it's too good to be true, or there's like you get like a feeling in the pit of your gut, it's not for you. It's time to walk away. Because the cups does represent someone offering you something, right? They're offering you a cup. And it could be a good offer. It could seem like, wow, this seems like what I want. This seems like a good offer. There's no harm here. But use your discernment, okay? And abandon everything that does not serve you. Even if it seems to the outside world, it may seem like, oh my God, this person just walked away from this great being. Like, they're so stupid. Why would they walk away from this? Or why would they leave that job? Or why would they leave this woman? Or why would they leave that man? He's such a good man. But you don't know how this person is behind the scenes. So walk away from anything that does not fulfill you. If it doesn't feel good to you, it's something ain't right. Walk away. Okay? Because people are going to come with many offers. It's going to be tempting. Stay focused, stay the course, and walk away from anything that doesn't serve you. Yes, look at that. Queen of Wands. This is to my women that are watching. The men too, because the men are here. We got the Chariot, right? Now the women. The Queen of Wands uses her beauty, okay? Beauty is, in and of itself, is very powerful. They always say, like, beauty is almost like a gift of the gods, right? And I'm not just talking about outer beauty, because it's easy for us to just put makeup and, or, you know, get your hair cut, get a fresh lineup, and you look good, you look sharp, you smell good, look good. But I'm talking about inner beauty, like how you are on the inside, what kind of heart you have, your character, okay? The Queen of Wands represents a woman that is very attractive, beautiful. She knows how to use her power, her beauty, her action. She's a woman of action. She's a doer. She's a mover, a shaker, right? She does things, but she does it from a morally high place. She's sitting at her throne. So she's able to delegate tasks. She's able to get things done, have people do things for her, but it benefits not only herself, but the people around her. So a lot of us women, we need to adopt this type of Queen of Wands mentality. We need to adopt that. Be this Queen of Wands. This black cat here represents ancestral protection. Because remember, black cats, they do get a bad rap, but black cats are able to, just cats in general, they're able to see things that we can't see in the spiritual realm. They have that eye, right? So they're able to naturally see things. Dogs too, but cats for sure can see. Dogs can more so sense it. So dogs have more of like they can sense danger, whereas cats, they can see danger even before it comes. A cat can see things in the spiritual realm that you wouldn't even imagine. Okay, a lot of people use cats to do rituals as well because of that reason, because they know that cats are very sacred and they're very much connected to the behind the veil, so to speak. Okay, so but cats also represent protection, ancestral protection. Okay, so if you're a single woman, you may live alone. I could be talking to a woman that lives alone here or that has cats. I could even be talking to a woman that a singer, like she uses like what you call these things, this instrument here. Someone may use this to sing. I forget what this instrument is called, but it makes like it has like bells connected to it, and it makes like a ding, 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 ding sound. It makes that type of sound. Okay. So some of you could play that instrument in church or something like that, or just play that instrument in general. Okay. But the Queen of Wands ultimately is a doer. She makes the best decisions for herself and for people around her, and she's very much protected. All right, let me get one more. The Queen of Wands is a fire sign, so it could represent Aries, Sagittarius, or Leo, a Leo woman. I used to play it in church. Oh my gosh, that is so crazy. The tambourine, yes. So some of you could play the tambourine. Okay. In other words, show up as yourself. Your spirit will shine through with integrity. Absolutely. Absolutely. Let me get one more card to close out this live. You guys, I've been on here for 2 hours. Oh my gosh. I'm proud of me. They were trying to interrupt my live in the beginning, but I'm persistent, so they let it stay up. All right, so we got the Five of Swords. There we go. This is the truth. I'm telling you. Not everything is going to be fluffy. The Five of Swords talks about you need to cut people out of your life that do not belong there. Eight of Cups and the Five of Swords is kind of like the same energy. The Eight of Cups says abandon what no longer serves you. The Five of Cups says you need to cut off communication altogether. Some of you could be dealing with toxic people or people that they seem to have your back, but there's like some conniving things happening behind the scenes. You need to cut this person off. The Five of Swords talks about cutting off communication with people, cutting certain people out of your life. And it doesn't mean you stop speaking to them forever or you have like a big falling out. You don't need to have an argument with someone to stop speaking to them. You can just slowly but surely just walk away and, you know, less communication, okay? That's my mom. She's over here crazy. She's been sending me synchronicities all damn day. Oh my God, that's so beautiful. Shout out to your mom. Shout out to your mom. I love that this message is resonating, and I'm definitely grateful that, you know, I'm being used as a vessel to communicate that with you and that you resonate with the message. I really, really appreciate that. So yeah, so for others of you, you need to cut off people that no longer serve you. And this could be people that you knew for a very long time, okay? The Six of Cups does talk about, you know, nostalgia. It could talk about childhood. So someone that you may have known from childhood that they don't really have your best interest at heart, okay? Sometimes we have, you know, certain attachments to people because, oh, I've known this person for the past 20 years. I've known them all my life. But how has this person treated you? And I'm not talking about people that you've known all your life that are your bestie. You guys have a solid relationship. I'm talking about the people that you've known all your life or they've known you all their lives. And you don't really have a great relationship with them. It's always something. It's always tension. Spirit is saying, stop wasting time. Do what needs to be done. Okay? Cut off communication with this person. Don't allow fake people in your energy. If they're being fake, you know, they come in and out of your life, cut them off. The Queen of Wands is a doer, okay? She's not fake by any means. Okay, I'll take one more card, so we'll close out with 7 cards. One more card, and then I'm going to close out the reading. Thank you guys for watching. Thank you for liking the live. Thank you for liking this video. I appreciate you. And I did upload the videos that I uploaded yesterday and the day before. Make sure you guys check those out. Hype the video. YouTube is making us go through all these shenanigans now to get our videos pushed in the algorithm. So they have this new thing called hype. So it's in the comment section, like it'll show up if you're watching it on your phone where it'll say hype the video. Go to my videos, hype the videos. Hype the ones that you want to hype, obviously. Don't just hype them just because. I mean, you can to support the channel. But if, you know, you watch your videos, you resonate with the message, you like the message, and you like what I have to say, give it a hype. The hypes are free. It's just points. Like it's not asking you to, you know, give a super chat or anything like that. Hype the video so that way YouTube can push in the algorithm. Okay. All right, let me get one more card, please. One more card to close out the message for today. Oh, I love that. Thank you so much. I'm smiling so hard. I love that. I love that. And thank you so much for sharing. Thank you so much for, you know, sharing that in the chat. I appreciate it. All right. Oh, you guys. A new beginning. Yes. Don't be afraid to start over. A lot of you are starting over. The yellow is a card of sunlight, sun, right? This is also the energy of summer. So a lot of you could be starting something new in the summer, possibly a new job or something you've been working on that has to do with money and finances, okay? Some of you could be walking away from an old job, going into something new, or just a new career path, new life, probably moving, okay? The Chariot also talks about moving away. So some of you could be moving to a different state, or maybe you stay in the same state and you're just moving to a different neighborhood, okay? You're starting something new and on your own. And Spirit is saying, do not take the people from the past with you. I don't know why they're saying this, but they're saying, for those of you that are starting this new path, this new journey, right? As the Fool. Be light as a feather. Pack light. So I'm getting, some of you may not even leave without the furniture. Sell the furniture, buy new furniture. Everything brand new. New furniture, new wardrobe, new look. Maybe change your look up a little bit. Okay. If you're a man, leave everything in the past, including the ex-girl. She was toxic anyway. She was a gold digger anyway. Leave her in the past. If you're a woman, leave him in the past anyway. He was cheating on you. He was dogging you out. He didn't respect you. Walk away from him and start a new beginning, because your new partner is waiting on you. Okay. So that was the message, you guys. Some of you could have pets. Some of you could have dogs or just be an animal lover. But I'm getting a new beginning. This is good energy. Sunlight. This is, definitely changes happening around the summertime. So that was the message, y'all. The bottom card is the Wheel of Fortune. Wheel of Fortune talks about changes happening. So you guys, the change is going to happen regardless, okay? So you might as well make the changes on your own, or the divine is going to step in, because the Wheel of Fortune is like things happening in your life outside of your control. So you either make the changes on your own, or the spirit is going to come in and make the changes for you with the Wheel of Fortune, okay? So change is happening regardless. That was a message, y'all. My pleasure, my pleasure. I really appreciated this live. I think this is one of my favorite lives so far. This is one of my favorites. Thank you guys so much for watching. Thank you for supporting the channel by watching. Time is very valuable, so you chose to spend 2 hours with me. I appreciate it. Thank you so much, y'all. Bye. Let's do a little outro with some music.